Hi, I'm Dawn and this is where Shabby meets Bling. And if you like shabby and a whole lot of chic, you're gonna love how I transformed tonight's thrifted item. Thrifted items, there's two of them, thrifted items. You're watching a Shabby Chic Christmas. I'd like to thank our host, Jody from Jody at Southern Seasons, and my fellow co-hosts, Aaron from The Provincial Farmhouse, Annie from Crafting with Indiana Jones, and Myra from Farm Fresh Designs 59. You're going to find the links to this playlist and their fabulous channels in my description box below. So here are the two items. Two bells, two Christmas bells. And have you ever seen anything more sad than these bells? They are horrible. They're old and they really need some help. So I am going to transform these two sad looking things into two beautiful Shabby Chic Christmas bells. First thing I need to do is disassemble, cut them apart, get rid of everything. Oh, by the way, it cost me $1 for this set of bells. $1. Once they're released from that zip tie and that horrible greenery, I clean them up. Once clean, I give them a coat of a brown spray paint as a base. And I did start this project for another video quite a long time ago. So I dug these back out and took a look at them, and the paint didn't take as well as I had hoped it had. And so I'm going to give it a light sanding. I'm just going to prep it because they're getting painted. This was meant to be a base coat only, and so it shall be. So it shall be. Just from the feel of it, I really thought it would have taken the paint a little better. I should have known, wah wah, but that's okay. So I'll finish sanding. I'm using a 600 grit paper, and then we're gonna paint for real. We're gonna bring on the pretty stuff. I could have spray painted again a metallic gold, but I chose to hand paint this because I kind of want to see the brush marks on this. I am using a folk art metallic gold, and it is really pretty. I'm really loving it. I did spray paint the interior of the bells in antique metallic gold, and it was a Rust-Oleum spray paint. I want to do this by hand, so it looks like it may be really metal. I am just giving it a nice coat of paint, and then I'm going to grab the other bell, give it a nice coat, let it dry, because it's definitely going to need a couple of coats to cover properly. But before I give it that second coat, I should say them, before they get their second coat, I'm going to be adding some of this gorgeous trim onto the bottoms of each bell. This trim has come from burlapfabric.com. I'll leave the link in the description box below, and I am going to adhere it with Aleene's Sticky Glue. I'm going to leave just a tiny little bit of space at the bottom, and then I am going to take this trim, which is a crocheted lace, and I am going to run it all the way around the bottom of each bell. I will also glue the peaks of the trim down. The way this trim is shaped, it allows me to conform it to the shape of the bell. Once the trim is applied to both bells, I am going to add a layer of Mod Podge over top of my trim. This step will not only seal the trim, but it will harden it. It will give it a different texture because I need this to become part of the bell. I don't want it to look like somebody glued on some fabric trim onto a plastic bell. So that's not my goal here. I need this to start to look like metal. As I'm coating the trim, I'm also coating the bell, and this will help when I add my second coat of paint. It'll go on a little bit smoother, and once the Mod Podge is dry, then we do go back to that metallic paint. And we give the entire bell, both bells, I keep forgetting there's two bells. We give them both another coat of paint. Now my trim at the bottom is going to take 2 coats as well. So I am coating the trim, all of the trim, and then the bell again, and then I will come back and hit my trim for a second time. I will probably more than likely need to touch up areas because as metallic paint dries, you can see where you've hit it a little heavier in one area and a little lighter in another. So I'll just take a peek-see on the whole thing once each coat is dry. To be truly chic, these bells need more than just fabric trim. We need more than this. So I'm going to be using a whole bunch of different cookie cutters and fondant cutters to create some items to enhance these bells. I'm going to take some and add one cutter inside the other and create frames and put some beautiful images inside. This is the basic layout I have of the different shapes I want to make for these bells. I'm also going to be making coordinating Christmas ornaments to make my frames and other decorative details for my bells, as well as all the ornaments. I'm going to be using flower clay. I get my flower clay at Hobby Lobby. I will in the future be making my own when I have time, but for right now it's just easy to pick it up there. Once I have my flower clay laid out, I sprinkle it with a baking soda, and then I start to cut with my little cutters. And I have so many pretty cutters, and I just make sure that everything is well dusted, and then I just press. I press the larger one first and leave it in place, and then I press the one on the inside that will help create the frame. Then I gently jiggle and sometimes even shake to get everything to come out. Even though you've used your cornstarch, sometimes they kind of don't want to release. So you just have to take your time and make sure that you don't stretch the flower clay out of shape. The large frame I created is for one of my bells. Now this little insert is going to be one of my ornaments, and I keep that in place, and I take an even smaller cutter, very similar in shape, and I press that inside and repeat the process. And then I continue to make many more ornaments. Here are some of the many shapes that I have created. I am making some ornaments for another project as well, which you will not be seeing tonight. I have taken the frames that are going to go on my bell, and I have already formed them or started to form them. I've laid them over round objects since they have to go on a curved surface. If they start to firm up here, they will be easier for me to glue onto that bell when I'm ready to do so. Flower clay stays pliable for a nice long time, which gives me the opportunity to clean up my edges. And by using the sharp edge of my scissors and some sandpaper, I can get these things really clean. We want these to be as smooth and as flat as possible. I use the same exact process on the little ornaments that I'm creating. I love how these turned out. The shapes are absolutely beautiful. Next, I am going to create a back for each of my frames and each of my ornaments as well, because I need something to Mod Podge those really gorgeous images that I have onto. So I just trace the exterior of every frame and every ornament, which are really frames as well, let's face it, because they're going to be housing an image. And then I will cut out each of the backs and make sure that it stays within the perimeter of the frame, because we don't want this cardboard sticking out of the side. It would look horrible, and we don't want that. Once each frame has a corresponding back, we need to give everything a primer coat of paint. And these will also be metallic gold, but I don't want to waste all of my metallic gold. So I'm going to start out by giving everything a primer coat in yellow. This is a chalk paint, and it is called Tuscan Sun, and it is a Hello Hobby chalk paint from Walmart. Once the backs have their first coat, I move on to all of my frames. When they're dry, it's time to trace out my beautiful images. I found these online and I sent them over to my computer, popped them into Canva, and sized them to the appropriate size that I needed to fill each frame. I adjust my frames to get the exact view I want. I then trace them out, and then I will cut them out. These two Santa images are what is going to get used on the bell, along with some other embellishments. Now, these are going to be some of my ornaments, and I absolutely love these images as well. So pretty. Aren't they cute? So I do the same. I make sure that what is in the frame is what I want to see. I trace them, and I cut them out. Now for the really fun part. I am using a gold metallic dimensional paint. I am creating dimensional designs on all of my little ornaments and frames and embellishments. I will also be using this paint directly on the bells themselves. I am just taking my time, and it's kind of like icing a cake with the frosting in the bag. This unfortunately doesn't have interchangeable tips. It's just that round, but you can create a teardrop, you can make swirls, you can make dots, all kinds of things. With some practice, you can get some really amazing designs. And once dry, if you go over top of it again, it brings out the dimension even more because you're stacking the paint together. And I will be doing that after they get a coat of paint. Here they are. Aren't they pretty? Don't they look like fancy cookies? So fancy. Well, and now they're getting that coat of paint I told you about, metallic gold again. And once I get a nice coat of metallic gold on here and it dries, I will add a second coat of metallic, and then I will be doing that second layer of dimensional paint. Now the backs of all of our frames need some metallic gold, so I will do that right now. I'm just going to give all of the backs of all my ornaments and all my frames a coat or two of metallic gold, just in case you see the back, just in case. Now we bust out that old podge and we Mod Podge the beautiful images onto the backs that we just painted, the front of the back, not the back of the back, because it's painted. So I'm giving these cardboard backs a nice healthy coat of Mod Podge, and then we will put our very, very gorgeous images on top. Once they are all nice and dry, I will give the top of the image a nice coat of Mod Podge as well. And then I am going to add some glitter where it is appropriate. Once my Mod Podge and my glitter steps are complete, I will glue the backs to the frames using 3-in-1 glue. Last but not least, I will embellish with some bells that I have pre-rusted to add that shabby, and this gorgeous evergreen, which looks extremely lifelike. I got it at Hobby Lobby. And I will use the baker string and the jute to make hangers and other embellishments. As far as my bells go, I will be using rope instead of ribbon to create a bow and a tassel. This time of year, rope comes in handy. Check out what I did with it in this Christmas video. I'll leave the link in the description box. I will also insert these jingle bells inside my plastic bells so my bells will really ring. Using a rubber band as a straight line, I create a border at the top of my bell with my dimensional paint. I will finish the bells off with some beautiful lifelike greenery and pine cones. Transformations are completed and all my little ornaments are also done. So I really want to show you because I'm in love with this beautiful shabby chic look. More chic than shabby, but shabby chic. Here's just a little reminder of what these bells looked like before. And here's our after. The lace trim doesn't look like lace trim anymore. And there's our flower clay embellishments with a little bit of dimensional paint to really make them stand out. I love the rope. gives it a nice shabby feel. I unraveled it to create even a more shabby appearance. And how about that tassel? Absolutely love it. Pine cones, evergreen, absolutely spectacular. As beautiful as that back is, wait till you see the front of these bells. There it is. Ah, the frames with the images, I love it. The flower clay frames and embellishments mold perfectly to that bell because they're still flexible. They're still pliable after all that time. And I love the dimensional paint. Another extra added layer of detail. And to think they really ring. These bells really ring. I bet you're surprised I didn't light them up somehow. These disgraceful bells turn themselves around to a whole lot of chic with a little bit of shabby. Let's check out our ornaments. From clay, cookie cutters, and paint, we got these. The dimensional paint was just the beginning of adding dimension. I added real tassels to Santa's hats. I added a beautiful tree, a little bottle brush tree that I cut down so it would lay flat on this ornament, the bells, the greenery, more sparkle, bling bling. And to tame it all down, I used some jute and a little bit of baker's twine. I think, not sure, but I think the bird and the Santa with the bottle brush tree are my favorite. I absolutely love him. I love him. And as you turn, you can see the glitter shining, almost like the snow. It's like a reflection of the snow. I also did some detail painting on many of the ornaments with my metallic gold paint. So pretty. So pretty. Very happy with the way these projects came out. So easy too. Not unlike making cookies and decorating them. You can even let your kids help. I'm getting so excited for Christmas. I can't wait to start decorating the house. Thanks again to Jody for hosting us in this Shabby Chic Christmas event. You'll find her link as well as my co-host links and this playlist in my description box below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a like, share it with your family, your friends, and anyone that likes shabby chic, DIYs, thrifting, holidays, and holiday and Christmas decor. You can follow me on Instagram, and don't forget to check out my shop on Etsy. Leave me a comment. I would absolutely love to hear from you. Ring the bell for notifications of all my upcoming videos. Don't forget to subscribe. It's a great way to support my channel. But for now, this is Dawn with Shabby Meets Bling. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.